So today, we're digging into how Chinese automaker BYD is really shaking up the global luxury car market. And what's their weapon of choice? The brand new Han sedan. But here's the twist. This car wasn't just cooked up in some design studio. Nope, it was basically co-created with over 1 million of its own drivers. All right, let's get into it. To really get the new Han, you have to go back about 5 years. This quote you're seeing, it's from a BYD executive, and he's talking about watching Chinese car buyers at auto shows. Seeing that look in their eyes when they gazed at the big German luxury brands, BMW, Benz, and Audi, what they call BBA. He said that look, that feeling, it pained them, and that pain lit a fire. It started a mission to build a Chinese car that could stand right there, shoulder to shoulder with the very best in the world. So first up, let's explore the why behind this car. This was never just about building another sedan. It was about a huge ambition to create a premium Chinese vehicle that could actually compete and win on a global stage, something that could earn real pride back home and turn heads everywhere else. And look, this wasn't just some pipe dream. The original Han made a serious splash. I mean, it became the presidential car for Brazil's leader. It was picked as the official ride for the UN's top person in China. It sold all over the world. But most importantly, it gained the trust of over 1 million families. That right there proved that a Chinese brand could absolutely play and win in the premium league. Okay, so now let's get into the how, because this new version of the Han isn't just some minor facelift. What BYD did was treat its 1 million plus owners like a massive real-world R&D team. So everything new in this car is a direct answer to their feedback, their ideas, and their everyday driving experiences. And the feedback they got was incredibly clear. When you look at the data BYD pulled together, you see what people really wanted. A huge chunk, 55%, were asking for more unique, what they called God-tier color options. Then you had 42% who wanted to go further on a single charge, and about a third of owners were hoping for a cleaner, more minimalist interior design. And this slide right here is where it all comes together so beautifully. You can see exactly how BYD turned that data into real, tangible upgrades. People wanted more expressive colors? Boom, they got 3 new shades inspired by the Chinese landscape. They asked for a simpler cabin? Done. BYD totally redesigned the center console. They needed to go further? You got it, new extended range models were introduced. This is literally co-creating a car on a massive scale. But get this, BYD isn't just listening for what to put in the next model. They're actually upgrading the cars people already own in a way I've never seen before. We're not talking about a simple map or infotainment update. BYD is pushing out an over-the-air software update, an OTA update, that actually lowers fuel consumption on its existing hybrid models. Think about that. Your car gets more efficient long after you've driven it off the lot. That's a total game changer. All right, so let's move on to the what. What is it actually like to be in this car? We'll see how all these user-driven changes come together to create a totally new experience. It's about way more than just performance. It's about the feel, the comfort, and all those little details that make a car feel genuinely special. Remember those god-tier colors everyone was asking for? Well, BYD didn't just pick a new shade of silver. Instead, they looked to the stunning landscapes of China for inspiration. So you get Wusong Gold, which is meant to capture the sun hitting the Rime Ice in Jilin, Songyin Green evokes those ancient deep green pines on a Hongshan mountain, and Yanfeng Blue is inspired by that unique color of the sky over the Tibetan Plateau at sunrise. It's like poetry, but for your car. Now inside the car, the cool features just keep coming. One of the biggest luxury standouts is this 4.5-liter smart fridge that's built right into the console. And it's not just a little cooler. It can get things icy cold, down to -6 degrees Celsius, or it can heat things up to 50 degrees Celsius, perfect for a hot coffee or even a baby's bottle. It's one of those small touches that makes a huge difference on a long drive. Okay, this next one is genuinely fascinating. For the millions and millions of people who suffer from motion sickness, BYD developed what they're calling an intelligent anti-motion sickness system, an industry first. It basically coordinates the car's suspension, the power, and even the climate control to make the ride as smooth as possible. And the results are just incredible. In their tests, it provided effective relief for 98% of people. 98%! So we've talked about the dream, the features, and the in-car experience. But that brings us to the big question, right? How does all this tech actually perform on the road? And maybe more importantly, what's it going to cost you? This is where things get really interesting. With the new Han, you basically have 2 paths you can go down. There's the DMI Hybrid, which is just an absolute master of range. You can go 245 kilometers on just the battery, which is perfect for daily driving. But for a big road trip, it has a staggering total range of 1,560 kilometers. Then you have the full electric EV version, and this is a model of efficiency. It's got a range of up to 705 kilometers and uses just 10.6 kilowatt hours of energy per 100 kilometers. To put that in perspective, that's more efficient than some tiny little city cars. And this is the slide that ties it all together. Let's talk price. The Han DMI hybrid model starts at 169,800 yuan, which is roughly 23,600 US dollars. The full electric version starts at about 183,800 yuan, or around $25,500. And with some of the subsidies available in China, those prices can drop to as low as $22,200. I mean, that is just aggressive pricing for a car that is this packed with tech and luxury. So, all of this brings us to one final thought. Remember, BYD's whole mission was to stand proudly next to those German luxury giants. But by building this new car based on the voices of 1 million users, by prioritizing things no one else is, like fuel efficiency software updates and anti-motion sickness tech, have they done something more? Have they gone past just competing and actually created an entirely new category of what we could call user-defined luxury? It's a pretty interesting question to think about. Thanks for tuning in.